Awesome, awesome. Okay, it is March 24th, 2026, and we are reading in the Habits of Health, and I don't have that book out to lift it up. So, well, I have a chunk of it, but I don't have the front of it. So, we are on page 263 in the original book. Um, so, choosing wisely, Dr. A's color-coded shopping system. We've actually been working in this chunk of book for quite some time. I think this will be maybe the fifth week, might even be the sixth week. Wow. 2.5. So I'm going to start with the sidebar, which is Dr. A saying, liven up your water by adding a squirt of lemon or some fresh mint leaves and try to start your day with a couple of glasses before you hit the coffee pot. So, water. What's water doing in a discussion of our major food groups? It's along with your habits of health, along with your habits of healthy eating allows you to make sure we always stay hydrated. Water is a critical component of your body, making up between 55 to 60% of your weight. Your body can't store water, unlike fat, so you need to replenish it often. That's why drinking at least 8 glasses of 8 ounces each a day is a core habit of health. Oops, somebody else is in. Core habit of health. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Where was I? That's why drinking at least 8 ounce glasses is a core habit of health. Good morning, Cynthia. So water plays a key role in supporting health and particularly during the weight loss. Good morning, Cynthia. Weight loss. We are on page 263 of the Habits of Health. Talking about water just started. Water plays a key role in supporting health, particularly during weight loss when it helps remove toxins and other unhealthy substances stored in your fat cells. Being well hydrated helps all your organs and systems function properly. In fact, every function in your body takes place in water. It's a solvent that moves nutrients, hormones, antibodies, and oxygen through your bloodstream and lymphatic system. It also removes waste. And of course, it's essential to your kidneys' ability to filter and eliminate metabolic byproducts and toxins. If you don't drink enough, your body is forced to recycle dirty water, diminishing the efficiency of your metabolic function. What you may not realize is that we actually lose nearly 12 cups of water every day. 2 cups through perspiration, 6 cups through urine, 2 to 4 through breathing, and nearly 1 cup through the soles of our feet. Also, in high altitudes or dry environments, you lose even more, so you can dehydrate in a hurry. During phase 1 of your weight loss plan, there are even more good reasons to make a conscious effort to drink your 8 glasses a day. Here are a few. It's calorie-free, but helps you feel full and satisfied. It keeps you more from overeating. Studies have shown that when we feel hungry, some of the time our bodies are actually signaling for water. It facilitates the removal of toxins such as pesticides and preservatives from our cells. It prevents dehydration as our body eliminates excess salt and water from a diet of too many processed foods. It minimizes or eliminates fatigue, lack of energy, headaches, and unclear thinking. It speeds up metabolism. A recent study showed that drinking 2 8-ounce glasses of cold water increases metabolism rate by 30% for up to 90 minutes. It helps your liver convert fat to energy. Did you hear that? It helps your liver convert fat to energy. Did you know that? We talk about metabolism is our mitochondria, the power plants, turning the things that we eat into energy. And that's what the liver does right here. It helps. The water helps. So important. It's funny. That's what just stood out to me also when I'm reading Dr. A's Prescription for Life. Such a good book. It compensates for the loss of glycogen stores as you lose weight. So water facts. What's the best source for my 8 glasses a day? Plain water is the best beverage for quenching thirst. It's cheap, calorie-free, and contains no sugar, caffeine, or other additives. However, tap water should be filtered first to remove chlorine and other contaminants. What about bottled water? Bottled water is fine, as are sparkling waters flavored with lemon or lime. Just make sure they have been not been enhanced with sugary substitutes and calories. What about distilled water? Wow. Okay, here we go. Distillation takes out both impurities and minerals, including calcium, magnesium, and sodium, which may provide clinically important portions of your recommended dietary intake. I encourage you to check the mineral content of your drinking water, whether tap or bottle, and choose the water most appropriate for your needs. If you do use distilled water, you should supplement your mineral intake through your diet in order to maintain proper health. What about reverse osmosis? Reverse osmosis products distilled water, so the above cautions apply. And because it removes all of the impurities, minerals, and toxins, its filter requires considerable maintenance and cost. I'm just not thirsty. Do I still need to drink water? Don't use thirst to guide your intake. Thirst is a late warning symptom of dehydration. Waiting until you're thirsty to drink means that your body must function at less than optimal efficiency for several hours. So did you hear that? And he talks about this in the Life book. You are dehydrated by several hours before thirst comes on, and then we think we're hungry. Most of the time, it feels like hunger. It's actually dehydration. So a lot of times it is anyway. So how do I know if I'm drinking enough? If you start feeling tired, have trouble thinking, develop a headache, or notice that your urine is darker than usual, these are late stage signs that you need to drink more water. Your urine should be almost colorless, unless you've just taken vitamins. Sidebar: a habit of health, drinking plenty of water. Drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up, before every meal, and anytime you feel the urge to put something in your mouth. Because in addition to water's other wonderful benefits, it helps suppress appetite. So how much water should I drink? It is recommended that you drink 8 8-ounce glasses of water each and every day. This should be your guide unless you have a specific medical condition that requires you to restrict your fluid intake, such as renal failure or severe congestive heart failure, or if you've recently performed intense physical activity in a hot environment, in which case you should consume an electrolyte-enriched drink instead. And if you're going to use one of those, he does encourage a sugar-free one. Okay, right sidebar. Coffee is a diuretic. It makes you go to the bathroom more often, so it must dehydrate you, right? Well, not so. Turns out that this idea dates back to 1928 study, and it wasn't exactly rigorous research. Nonetheless, the research spread like wildfire, and ever since, caffeine has been considered a diuretic. Now, a recent study finds that coffee and caffeine in other drinks won't, in fact, create dehydration. So trust me, when I first started coaching, that was just rampant. Don't drink too much coffee. we do limit our coffee when in the losing phase to about 3 cups, 200 milligrams, because it will argue against that, the science of fat burning. But he says a cup of coffee or two or three, it isn't going to hurt you. And if anything, when he talks about coffee later, he says it can actually do a few good things for you. So there's a chart, healthy hydration and unhealthy hydration at the top. So healthy hydration, purified water, bottled water, reverse osmosis water, tea, coffee, infused water, calorie-free. And unhealthy hydration, fruit juices, sodas, almond, coconut, flax milks, probably flaxseed milk, diet soda, energy drinks, sports drinks, and alcohol. And recognize drinking alcohol can actually, probably most all of these fruit juices can stop a fat burn in its track for at least 24 hours, if not longer. So it's not just a candy bar or a high carb meal. These drinks that we don't even think about, we don't think about them as food. They have an intake that can create the same thing. So just be very highly aware. Regular almond milk, coconut milk, flaxseed. That's why we use the unsweetened, because realistically, almond milk, this was a huge wake-up call for me too. Unsweetened has 1 carbohydrate. Regular almond milk has 12 carbohydrates. So that's a huge impact on the body when we're really focusing on that macronutrient balance so that we can have the best fat burn. That's why everything we use needs to be looked at. So above is a list of healthy choices of how to keep your hydration. Teas, both hot and iced, have all kinds of health benefits, but make sure you do not add milk, which inactivates the healthy phenolic compounds, and naturally don't add sugar. Green teas in particular is full of health benefits, from decreasing inflammation and preventing cancer to improving your learning and memory. Coffee studies are showing many benefits because of the high levels of antioxidants. Studies show it decreases depression, reduces the risk of some cancers, and may help you live longer and slow down cognitive decline, boost mood, increase stamina, and may even protect against adult diabetes. And by the way, coffee and teas are not diuretics. And we read that sidebar. Infusers that are designed to provide additional vitamins, minerals, or other healthy supplementation are a great way to make sure your body is adequately hydrated throughout the day and evening. It's important that any infusers you use may have minimal calories. And Kathy, what we're talking about right there, I actually have totally scratched out. That's where purposeful hydration is talked about, and that's a product we don't have anymore. So I was also talking to her, Kathy and Damon, and you both probably know this. You can't get the Habits of Health book anymore, or the Life book from the website. So if you do need a new one, you do want to get that from Amazon. Dr. A has actually read this book and put it on the Optavia app, so you can listen to him read it instead of me. And he also has My Prescription for Life on there that he has read, which is really, really good. And just so you know, I'm sure that he will be revamping these books. There's lots of things that are a little bit outdated, but in July we are launching, they call it a new company. We're going to have a new brand. We're wanting to refine and get farther and farther and farther away from the diet mentality that people keep putting right alongside of us. We are about metabolic health. Yes, we do have a component for weight loss, but the bigger picture is really stepping into how do we become a healthy person and live after the after. You know, the 10.5 years that I've lived beyond that weight loss is so much more than that 6 months that it took me to take those 50, or 5 months to take those 53 pounds off. So, okay, side note there. One of the habits of disease is, so I'm sure what, I guess I should finish that. So that's what he's doing. I'm sure that he's revamping the life book and the habits of health. So we should have a new one by August, I would imagine. So, okay, so one of the habits of disease is consuming sugary sodas, fruit drinks, and the many sweet beverages out there with added sugars, syrups, and concentrates. Half of the US population consumes at least one sugary drink a day, even when excluding fruit juices, diet soda, sweetened milks, and sweet teas. These sugary drinks can lead to diabetes and some forms of cancer. And there's references 35 and 36 in the back of the book for what he says on each of those. Each sugary drink you consume increases your risk of heart disease by almost 20%. Wow. It is estimated that 180,000 people a year lose their lives by consuming these sickeningly sweet elixirs. The unhealthy drinks on the list above not only stimulate insulin and drive glucose into the fat cells, thereby worsening your weight issues, but will actually make it harder to stay hydrated. So that's it. My easy shopping system for long-term healthy eating and reaching an optimal weight. When combined with the prepackaged system you learned about in part 2.3, the catalyst to reaching a healthy weight, you now have a comprehensive strategy for reaching and maintaining optimal health. When you think of the hours we spent shopping for clothes, electronics, even pet supplies, it really makes sense to take the time to learn and use this simple system. Once you do, you can be sure that you're giving your body the best quality fuel available through foods that boost your ability to function and put you on the path to optimal health. And now we're going to read Mary Bell's. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. You get to see her instead of me. Do, 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 do. This is this is Mary Bell. She is actually the wife of the man who created our compensation plan. She's pretty cool. You don't get to see her very much. She's pretty quiet. Dan Bell's wife. So, transformation, Mary Bell. I had been on a yo-yo diets ever since I was a teenager. I had been up and down with my weight, and that last 10 to 15 pounds was always a challenge. But when I read Dr. A's book, I saw a way that I could incorporate his daily habits into my life to make permanent changes towards optimal health. I had to tweak my habits quite a bit because I had been cooking kind of the wrong foods, but now I know what to cook. Healthy, lean, and green meals. When I go to the grocery store, I make sure I go down the produce aisle and try to get organic produce. I also go for lean meats and fresh fish. I also make sure I have my proper hydration each day. For me, that means at least 8 glasses of water a day. Dr. A's book on habits of health helped me realize that even small amounts of sugar was not very good. I pretty much cut out the sweet tea, which I used to drink a lot of, and desserts. I really did change my cooking habits, and it has showed up in our family's health pattern. I cook for our grandkids too. I do not let them have the candy that they beg for. I have 4 grandchildren and one on the way, and my goal in life are to try to be as healthy as I can as I age. I do a lot of very active things with my grandkids. They're young and they always want me to either give piggyback rides or do activity games with them. Running up and down the hall or the yard, I really do have it all as a I really do have it as a goal in my life to stay active, fit, and healthy as possible so that I can enjoy a lot of years with my grandkids and they're getting old as they're getting older and get into sports. For me, the habits of health were a day-to-day journey, not just a diet that you go on, lose some weight, and then go back to your old eating habits. It was very important to remember that I had to change my life on a day-to-day basis, one habit at a time, and that's what I tried to do. And here's a sidebar that says I had been up and down with my weight, and that last 10 to 15 pounds was always a challenge. Okay. And then we actually will be going over to your life book next week to get caught up on that edge. So, all right, guys, I hope that you have an absolutely amazing week, and I hope that you come back to join us next week.